Hey crafty cuties, in today's video we are going to try out a few different methods of making wax dipped photos, and we tried some of these on a live video a few days ago, so I thought we would just try them all out here on one video. So let's go. Okay, so to get started, I am going to be melting my beeswax that I have in here in like a double boiler method kind of style. I have old paint brushes that I am choosing to use to paint the wax on to the pictures. So now that this is boiling, I'm just going to carefully pop my jar into here. And we're just gonna let this sit and slowly melt the beeswax. Be super careful if you're doing this. Make sure to use, some kind of heating glove so you don't burn yourself. Once this is all melted, I'm going to bring it over to where our papers are, and then we can get going. Okay, now that our wax is melted, I have it in the jar. Remember, be careful with that. And you want to move quickly here. Okay, I have my old paint brushes. These are like a natural hair bristle. But we're just going to go ahead and dip it into the wax and start painting this on. So I'm experimenting today with a few different types of paper. I'm going to go quickly. This right here is printer paper that was coffee dyed. It was ironed and printed on. And these little Polaroid pictures, by the way, are from... I have the name. My cat's about to jump up here since we are in the kitchen. Okay, this is going on a little thicker than I want it, but that's why we gotta move quickly. I had to move my kitty. Okay, so I'm gonna try to smooth this out. But like I said, you gotta move kind of quick, so let's go on to the next one. I'll try to get a little less on the brush this time. Okay, I want to try, I have a card here, or a plain card. So I really liked the brush strokes on, I made some of these a few years back and I used a brush, which is why I wanted to try this method, because I really like how the brush strokes looked after years. Okay, so I try not to get too many layers on here because it can get thick pretty quickly. Okay, so that one. It's also really hard to tell on camera what kind of texture this is giving, but it looks really cool in person. I'm going to try, this is just a piece of like ephemera that I have, some kind of label. And I'm thinking, so if you do this method and you're not happy with the thickness, like if it's too thick, you can use like a heating gun and then just go ahead and go over the top of it just to kind of spread out some of that wax. And I think that's what I'm going to do on a couple of these. Okay, that one worked out good. Like I said, you have to move fast because like this is already melting or hardening, not melting. Actually, let's try a doily here. I'm gonna do the center for now. Maybe a little bit of the design on the edges there, like that. Yeah, I almost feel like you probably need to leave your jar in the boiling water because it is hardening super fast, but I'm not gonna do that since I am trying to film this video. I'm gonna try a postcard. Yeah, this is definitely needs to melt a little bit more. So I'm gonna grab my heat gun. So let's try to smooth out the first one that I did where the wax I think is just a little bit too thick. I'm gonna use my heat gun. If you have like a hair dryer, you could use that as well. You can also use an iron for this. That's what I tried on the live. I just feel like that it just was a little messy, and I don't really like using the iron, but let's go ahead and see if we can smooth this out a bit. Yeah, this is helping a lot. But we probably will lose some of those brush strokes. So that actually worked out really well though. And it ended up giving more of that translucent look to the paper, which is actually what I'm going for. So we might just have to do a combination. Let's try. I'm gonna try to set this over here. You wanna try not to touch these too much right after you wax them because you'll get fingerprints. Yes, okay, this is what we're going for because I really like that translucent look that the wax gives the paper. Yep. So I don't know if you can see on camera, but it just gives the paper more of a translucent look, like almost as if it's vellum. Okay, let's go ahead and let's do it on the playing card too. Even though that one worked out pretty good with just the brush strokes, but okay. So I think it really kind of depends on what paper you're using. That one was fine before. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do another. I'm gonna grab my jar with the remelted wax. Just have to use this brush, I guess. Actually, okay, you know what? We're gonna try the postcard just because that's a different. Already hardens up. So, well, there's a good chance that maybe the iron method is actually the best because this is melting so, or sorry, I keep saying melting. This is hardening so quick that we have to end up doing two different methods anyways, which is using the heat gun. So maybe even though I don't like using the iron, that's going to be the best bet. I'll go ahead and do that. I'll use the iron here on this video with you guys, just so, in case you didn't see the live. Okay, because since this is going on so thickly, I'm gonna use my heat gun one more time. Okay, let's smooth that out. I'm gonna grab my iron. I have my iron on a medium heat. I wanted to show you, this is the beeswax that I am using from Amazon. So I'll put a link down below. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and I have some parchment paper here. It's just folded in half. And on the inside, I'm gonna go ahead and just place a few of the photos just so we can do more than one at a time. And I'm mostly wanting to do these little Polaroid pictures. By the way, I think I did not tell you where I got these printables from. It's A Whimsical Adventure on Etsy. Okay, I'll go ahead and do that many. But I'm also going to try a few other little papers, little ephemera pieces, and some labels that are on a really thin paper. I'm gonna do a tag. I already have a little topper on that, so I'm gonna take that out. There we go. Okay, I think that's good. I want to try this, which is on photo paper, but we'll go ahead and do these first. And so yeah, again, even though this wasn't my favorite way, I think that it might be the best results. And I'm kind of wondering if, since I do like the brush stroke look, perhaps at the end I can take my brush and try to kind of paint on some brush strokes. So we'll try that. Okay. I remember last time that I did this though, I did add too many of the wax beads, so we can always add more, but okay, we're gonna go ahead and just fold this up like that, and then just carefully iron over the top, and you can kind of see that it's when it's melting. I think I'm gonna turn up a little bit more because the last time I did this I had it on like full heat and that was fine, but it's kind of coming out, so I'm gonna and I can already see the paper getting translucent. So I think that's another reason why I think this method is probably the one that works best for my liking, even though I don't like using the iron, because it automatically makes your paper look translucent. And that's kind of the whole point of why I want to have these photos dipped in wax, or, you know. Okay, yes, yes, yes. So I do need to add a little bit more, just on a few of the parts that didn't get much. Okay. Let's go ahead now and all right, that's probably more than I need now. Go ahead and at least with this method, you can do multiple photos at once, or journal cards, or ephemera. So I guess all in all, this is probably the quickest method as well. But you will have to let me know down below if there's a method that you like better than this, or if this is the best way that you've found, or just let me know if you have any questions. Okay, I think I'm almost done here. And then I'll try adding some brush strokes. Are we still filming? Yes, we are. I got nervous and thought that the camera had turned off. That happens often. Okay, let's go ahead and see. Oh, you know what? Now my brush is completely hardened from wax, so I don't think I can really do that. But I do feel like this is probably the best way to go. I'm just gonna give it one more pass because I feel like I needed to turn up the heat. Okay. So here are the labels. And this is just something that's so hard to show on camera, but in person it's like translucent and it has a really cool texture. There's the tag. That was on printer paper, by the way. Coffee dyed, and then coffee dyed. And then I love the little Polaroid pictures. And when I did these on the live, I think I mentioned that I used a darker colored paper that I didn't like as much, and I really like these ones on a thin, light colored paper. And I will ink up the edges of these as well. I just want to try one last piece of paper with you guys, which is a photo paper. And then I really like the little tickets that I have here, so ephemera is super fun for this method. But last one, we're just gonna put our printer paper, photo paper that has been printed on. I'm just gonna go ahead and put quite a bit here this time, so we can hopefully just do one pass. I am pretty impressed that this works really well on printed paper. The ink doesn't seem to seep anywhere or bleed. It actually turns out really well, at least in my experience here with you guys. Okay, I think we are all good. Yes. That looks really cool. I like that. Okay, I didn't expect to like this so much more than regular paper, but this turned out to be such a cool texture. It looks like real vellum, but it's like thicker because it was on printer paper. Like I said, didn't expect to like that one so much, but I do. And it's so hard to show on camera, but I hope you guys can kind of see. So guys, that's it. I think we've been playing with wax for long enough here. I'm gonna let you go, and I will see you soon. Let me know whatever you want down below.